Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who spent the last week shivering with a fever and then subsequently broke out in hives before deciding to wear a band-aid on his fucking face. And I'm here to talk about Jessica Andrade versus Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern looked incredible in her last fight against Angela Hill. It's the best she's ever looked. She wasn't able to put her away, but she came close about 1,000 times and never looked as versatile as she did in that fight. She's a girl who still doesn't have a TKO win. She's got 13 of them, 7 by submission, 6 by decision. But look, even in her debut against, I think it was her debut against Amanda Bobby Cooper, she knocked her down. Big right hand, sat on it, put that fucking ass into it. And she's definitely got some pop. But again, against Angela Hill, she looked better than ever. Better than ever and more aggressive than ever. But Angela Hill is incredibly tough to put away. Incredibly tough. I actually thought in that one Mackenzie Dern would get it done by submission. But TKO-wise, Angela Hill, she's never been finished. And Jessica Andrade, she's a girl who actually fought Angela Hill, and they had a great battle. But Jessica Andrade, she has been finished. She's got 12 losses now, 9 of them via finish, and 3 of them coming in her last 3 fights. She's got no momentum here. She's a girl that I'd say is still the most dangerous girl overall, but that's tough to say, really, because she's still got all of her offense, but again, she's been out-dangered 3 times consecutively. Tatiana Suarez guillotined her, Yan Xiaonan KO'd her, and Erin Blanchfield rear naked choked her. All 3 of those girls will probably challenge for a UFC title in the next year. I'd be surprised if all 3 of them didn't. But still, despite that and all the context and all the nuance and horseshit, I still see a fighter trending downward in Jessica Andrade. She's more breakable. She's always been breakable to some extent, but that was more at like bantamweight. But she's slower, less dangerous, less imposing overall on the feet. I think Mackenzie Dern, I know she doesn't want to engage in a striking battle with Jessica Andrade just because that is where Jessica Andrade would be most likely to win. But I know Mackenzie Dern is not going to be afraid of her striking. I think she's going to try to go through her with some striking. Not completely. Of course, she's going to want to rip her to the mat. Let me fix my fucking Band-Aid there. But Mackenzie Dern, I think she's going to be too much for Jessica Andrade, just to be blunt about it. Too much for her, where she is absolutely my pick here in this fight. Absolutely my bet. Probably my big bet on the whole card. My biggest bet on the whole card, Mackenzie Dern at minus 200. I thought the line would be a lot wider. I was pleased to see it at minus 200. And really, I think she gets the finish. It's not a lock in my head that she gets the finish, but I'm very sure she does. I think if Mackenzie Dern is having her way with Jessica Andrade, she's going to cut through her guard and put her away. Probably with a submission, considering Dern's never gotten a TKO, but Jessica Andrade is breakable in a lot of different ways. So, Mackenzie Dern by finish is the pick. I've played the under minus 175 for under 2.5 rounds. And the finish for Mackenzie Dern, TKO or submission, is at even money. And of course, TKO odds are individually much greater than the submission odds. So whatever, might be a little value in that, especially considering, Dern, she's underrated in that regard. 0 TKO victories. That's why it's not valued so highly. But she is dangerous, powerful, and really, really good on top, where if she gets that positional advantage, again, the TKO could come just as easily as a submission. Imagine her in the crucifix against Jessica Andrade, as Valentina got her. So, Mackenzie Dern by finish is the pick. I would guess it happens in the middle of the fight somewhere. I don't think she's going to rip her to the mat and steamroll her. but I wouldn't be surprised if that happened either. I'm just going with Dern. I'm very sure this is a pivotal matchup and yet another passing of the torch fight for Jessica Andrade, and here she's gonna make Mackenzie Dern. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Check out my other videos.